Hey everyone, this is Randolph here. We have some very special guests right now. We have WWE superstar Big Show, who's got my notes. We have WWE diva Kelly, who is being cute and nice and polite here. These are my notes. Yeah.
Dude, this looks like quantum physics. What are you doing over here?
It's just really messy handwriting, Big Show.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
It looks like quantum physics here. This is time space continuum.
You're giving me more credit than I'm due. I'm not that smart. That's just scribble about comic books and and games. Yeah.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that. Comic books and games are good.
Well, thanks very much for joining me here. You are here for the Smackdown tour in 2010, and I'm assuming you guys are on the road all the time. Now, since I come from a gaming publication, my first question has to be: do you guys get time to game at all? Do you like gaming? What's the thing?
Do I game? Let me enlighten you, my friend, on how I game. I actually, most of the guys rent cars and drive to the towns. Each town usually is 250 to 300 miles apart. I, in my smart business venture, have leased a tour bus like the rock stars have. And I actually have a bus with 50-inch plasmas and Xboxes on the bus. So I get my gaming in. I have to. Gaming's therapy for me. I'm a first-person shooter guy. If I can, spread some pink mist and some pink love, I'm good.
Do you like to take on the other superstars on tours? Is it a personal thing for you?
No, I've had a couple of guys in rooms at home. I've had Kofi join. I've had Hornswoggle join, and my gamer tag says it all. So much I'm not gonna say it now because I don't want a bunch of friend invites. Because I'll have to shoot you in the head, because that's just the way I roll.
Because I hear Kofi's brings game when it comes to Raw versus SmackDown versus Raw, is that right?
Raw versus SmackDown, Kofi is very, very, very hard to beat. I have a big problem playing a video game like that when I'm on it, because I just get mad at myself. Get up, and I press A and press A and press A, and I just lay there, so it drives me nuts.
What about you, Kelly? Do you game at all with the other divas on tour?
Kelly's got the butt game.
I got game. I wish I could say that me and the other divas play video games, but we really don't.
She's too cool to do that, where I'm a giant nerd. I like the video game world, yes. I'd rather play video games than live.
Okay, Big Show, one of the questions I've always wanted to ask you guys, if you game, do you have to play as yourself in Raw versus SmackDown?
In Raw versus... No, I'm the Undertaker. Flat out. I'm the Undertaker. I remember one time one of the gaming companies or something, they had a Raw versus SmackDown, and they had my hit points at like 72, and they had Chris Jericho at 89, and I threw the book at the guy. Are you kidding me? Chris Jericho? That Lilliputian? He's got more strength points than I do? Not happening. So since then, they've moved my strength points up in the game for fear of my wrath for real. That's the only good thing about being a character in a game. You can get a hold of the gamers and strangle the life out of them and make your character better.
I was going to ask that, actually. Do you guys have much of a say as to, what you guys look like in the final product, your skills and your attributes?
Oh, I do. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, let's not do the anatomically fat Big Show on the game. It's a fantasy game. Let's give me a little muscle, little cuts, little abs, a little swagger when I walk. It's good. Let's not do the fat, limping, real-life Big Show.
And what about you, Kelly? Because you're a relative newcomer to the game scene. You've been in, I think, the last 2 or so now, like 3, yeah, like.
Like 4 now.
So what do you think about seeing yourself as a computer image there?
It's really cool, actually. My family asks for games all the time, and they always call me like, "Oh, we're playing you right now." Like my mom, my dad. It's like the weirdest thing. My little sister plays, and I'm like, I wish I could say the same.
I need to call them about the part where the Big Show gets to date the divas in the game, because that would be a fantasy part of it, because obviously I can't do it in real life. So in a video game, it'd be nice to be like, "Hey, baby, how you doing?" And then I get, never mind. I'm having a moment. It's okay. Don't worry.
Okay, now the SmackDown versus Raw games are obviously massive sellers. How much do you think they actually drive new audiences to the TV show and the live shows, or do you think it's the other way around? People discover the TV shows.
I think there's a direct correlation between making fans, because I know personally speaking that I actually got into golf playing our Arnold Palmer golf, the old Arnold Palmer on the Nintendo. I actually played that so much, I was like, wow, this looks like a lot of fun. And then I actually got into playing golf, the sport itself, for real, because I like the game. So I think a lot of fans, it's quite possible for some fans to play the video game and then see our characters become familiar with our characters. Because let's face it, I mean, our characters on the Raw versus SmackDown are so lifelike, are so real. Our moves, our movements, our mannerisms, the voices are us on the games. I mean, I've spent days in the trailer doing the voices for the interviews and whatnot. So I know the time that we put into it. I think it's absolutely highly possible that we've actually converted wrestler fans that just picked up a game that wanted a great action game and then realized, hey, this is pretty cool. Let's find out more about it.
So have you guys come across, any of the newcomers to the business yet who, came to wrestling via a game first and decided to actually go in the business?
I think a lot of our young guys now are gamers. I'm probably the only old fart that still games. I do it for therapy. I have to game. Even my wife knows that, I come home, I have a glass of iced tea, I go in my room and I play my Xbox. So it's part of my therapy.
Now you guys are, you're on the road a crazy amount of time, in the year. Like I know you guys just basically arrived this morning and you've been doing interviews all day. What keeps you going? Like what's the motivation to keep, striving and getting out there in the ring night after night?
Kelly, what's your motivation?
A lot of Red Bull. But I mean, on the tours, like definitely looking forward to, seeing the fans and performing for them, is what gets you hyped up. And like hearing the crowd in the back and hearing how they are throughout the night, it just gets you pumped up for your match. So that's what pretty much keeps me going throughout the night.
And how about you, Big Show?
Money.
Because you've been in the scene for a long time now. Like how do you keep the motivation up?
Actually, the motivation definitely comes from the fans. I'm at a point in my career where I really don't have to do this for the money. I'd probably do this for free, but that's not really a real smart negotiating tactic to put on camera right now. But for me, it's my day is usually pretty calm. I'm a very little drama, no stress guy all day long. And for me, my adrenaline pumps, my heart beats fast, and I come alive when I walk down that curtain. Nothing hurts. I feel stronger than ever as soon as I walk down the ramp, and I have the energy from the fans, and it's just, you've seen the movie with Matthew McConaughey about the dragon. It's the magic hour. That's the magic hour for me is when I walk down that ramp. It's a good time.
Now, the game this year is all about, I guess, making your own moments. Kelly, I'll start with you. What's your best moment so far in the industry?
I've had a lot. I'm trying to think. Probably the first time I ever got to get in the ring, because I know it took about 2 years before they actually let me wrestle one-on-one, so that was pretty, I'd have to say probably, I remember my first match too. It was against Layla on ECW, so, and, now we're wrestling each other on Smackdown, which is pretty funny. We came in it together, and just getting to wrestle her, we've basically grown up together and learned and worked off of each other. So I have to say that. And going for the women's championship, that's a big deal too. So haven't gotten that yet, but hopefully soon.
That'll be the next moment. Is that right?
Yes, that will be the defining moment. Yeah, that'll be my moment.
How about you, Big Show? You've wrestled some of the best in the business. Does anything stand out for you particularly?
Yeah, there's a lot of moments that stand out. I mean, I've been very fortunate in my career to wrestle and compete against some of the greatest superstars this industry's ever seen, from Hulk Hogan to The Rock to Stone Cold to The Undertaker to Shawn Michaels. But I'll honestly say my personal favorite was winning the WWE Championship and defeating Brock Lesnar in Madison Square Garden. That's you've arrived in this industry when you've performed a main event in Madison Square Garden. That's the epitome, the arena to be in, and that's definitely one that always sticks out in my mind. I'm glad I did that.
What about some of the film and TV stuff you're doing? Because you've been in quite a lot of other media. I mean, last year you were, you came on Australian TV screens on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Like,
I wasn't. I'm not smarter than a fifth grader. That's true.
So is that where you see yourself going, after your WWE career?
You know what? It's funny because I've been approached by a lot of stuff, a lot of people about doing more films and stuff like that. Of course, I have Knucklehead that'll be on DVD here November 9th. Which was my first feature film with as being a star, so to speak. I was the main lead in the movie. My main focus now is to, of course, continue with sports entertainment. Unlike some of my predecessors who have kind of left the industry to move on to either greener pastures or whatever the terminology is, I kind of want to do both. I mean, I really enjoy touring. I really enjoy connecting with the WWE audience, and let's face it, I'm not going to be the next Anthony Hopkins, so if I can, help bring some pretty good movies to the WWE audience and still compete in the ring, then I'm going to do that as long as I can. And then after that's over, I'm going to buy a small island, and I'm not going to let anybody under 5 foot tall on the island.
Okay.
Just in case it's like a Lilliputian Gulliver thing, I don't want to wake up one day tied to the beach. So.
Okay, last question. You guys are here for a Smackdown tour. You're doing Australia.
Is that
You
what we're here for?
I think so.
Somebody lied to me. Somebody told me I was getting a free Raw Smackdown game. Well, who lied to me? Get that dude, man. Hey, you owe me a game, dude.
So you're doing Australia. You're doing New Zealand. You've done, you have been to the country a few times before. Do you see much of a difference between Australian fans and US fans at all on your travels?
I feel like because we only come here every so often. I feel like they're so excited to see us because they haven't seen us for so long. I mean, in the U.S. we're on tours every week. You know what I mean? So they see us pretty much 3 times a year, or however. You know what I mean?
More accessible in the U.S.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So coming over here is really, we have a lot of fun because the fans are so excited and they're so like loud, and it pumps us up and gets us really excited.
Me, I've noticed that the ticket sales among koalas have gone really up. However, I'm a little concerned about the ticket sales among kangaroos. I heard that there was a drop in kangaroo ticket sales. Apparently, I made some disparaging remarks before about kangaroos, and I want to apologize to the kangaroo demographic if I offended you in any way. This is Australia, man. This is the last of the really wild country left. I mean, Australia is the greatest place in the world where you can sit down and have a nice cold beer and a good steak, and then, drive an hour and you're out in the middle of a place with snakes that'll kill you in 10 seconds and spiders that will kill you in 5. So, this is a pretty awesome country. I think the next time I'm coming to Australia, I'm definitely coming over early and I'm going to see some stuff. So I've heard the koala bears here are pretty angry. Is that true?
Yeah, we also have drop bears that you have to try and avoid. And the
Drop bears?
Drop bears, yeah. So don't go out in the bush like at night, because things will just drop. Yeah, it's really dangerous here. Yeah, and
That's usually what I tell little people when they stand next to me. Be careful, something might drop on you.
And the kangaroo thing, we're in the kangaroo cull season right now, so we're shooting them out at the moment.
Oh,
yeah.
you're shooting the kangaroos?
Too many of them. And we need the tickets for people to go to the Smackdown shows.
See, and you wonder why the kangaroo demographic's upset. You're shooting the kangaroos. Wow, that's just sad.
Well, look, thank you very much, guys, for your time.
Thank you very much for completely depressing me. Now I know the kangaroos are getting shot. I'm so happy now. Gee, I'm going to open my window and jump out of it. Thanks. You're a great interviewer. Wow.
There you go.
I'm depressed.
That's massive praise. Big Show said I was a great interviewer, so thank you very much for that, Big Show. It was great.
Right. He's not a great interviewer. No, I'm depressed. Look at me. I'm wounded.
We'll just edit that last bit out. We'll just cut when Big Show says I'm a great interviewer, right?
See, he's got the power of the editing tape. That's true.
Thank you very much for your time, Kelly.
Thank you very much for having me.
And thank you very much, Big Show.
Thank you very much, you kangaroo killer.